Welcome back, everyone, to another session of the Half-Rate Heroes. Thank you for joining us tonight. Before we jump into the recap and where we were, thank you for bearing with us over the past couple of weeks while we were missing. But we are back now. We'd like to thank our newest followers, those newest members of our family. So, those are KJ's Live, Shadows 200612, TJ Shizap, Nexo, Doc_Hoovian, Choppers78, and 311 Striker. So welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you for pressing that follow button. Thank you for sharing us with your other friends. Before we jump into the actual adventure ourselves, by way of quick announcement, you may have seen, we have mentioned it a couple times before, but coming soon, we have a new adventure starting on the stream. That will be, perhaps Carl would be better to, because time zones, I'm terrible with it. Carl, when are the sessions for the World of Horan starting?
The World of Horan game will be starting on Tuesday, February the 5th, and you can find it on this channel Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern or 6 p.m. Pacific.
Okay. So that adventure will not only be a homebrew adventure of our own, but a homebrew world created jointly by me and the players for that game. So check it out. It'll be a lot of fun and a great experience for everyone involved. But we have a world to save, or that we have saved already. The Forgotten Realms is a much safer place. Thanks to our heroes. Since the beginning of this adventure, the material plane has been attacked, so to speak, by the other planes becoming unstable. The instability was a very malicious act by an individual who eventually the heroes came to know and understand as Giannis, a very old, almost immortal, you could say, shapeshifter individual that throughout time had been behind a lot of alternative world-shaking events. This time he was trying to destabilize the planes. In the time since then, our heroes have discovered that with Giannis's death, so too is the local Lord of Neverwinter dead. The person that the party had met, or maybe had met, they're not sure when the switch had happened, but the person who was in office at the time of Giannis's death was actually a simulacrum, and so therefore a clone of sorts of a real person. Now, subsequently, our heroes encountered a strange individual, a dark knight, who had managed to tame a bone claw. Never really found out how, but he had tamed a bone claw, and he had a very specific attitude, which the party really didn't take to heart. They didn't like. Do you guys remember his attitude? What his point of view was?
If I can do it, it means the gods will allow it and that I'm doing the gods' work?
Pretty much that's exactly the way it is. What happens must be according to the will of the gods. If it wasn't according to the will of the gods, it wouldn't happen. So anything I actually accomplish must be according to the will of some or all of the gods. He allowed himself to be taken into custody, and so now we sit with the party having this Dark Knight who turned out to be a Loxodon, a race that is featured within the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica content, which I absolutely love the book. It's a great book. I really enjoy it. But You have him in custody, correct? You haven't handed him over to any local law enforcement. So what are you going to do with this this fellow who called himself Connor?
Well, I think we still ought to inform the guards that their mate is dead, in case they have anything that they can do to bring him back.
Sure. And I think one of the ideas that we had was to take him into the custody of the guards, but without saying exactly what he did.
Yeah, that was an idea. I wasn't too keen on it because I reckon that they'd want to know why we're turning them in. Otherwise, folks could just turn in random folks and ruin the night.
Yes, if you recall correctly, we had come to the conclusion that he was going to stay with us throughout the night until we could find Darathor tomorrow.
I didn't recall correctly, but you did. You reminded me, so thank you.
I have muscles in my brain as well.
Weird, but okay.
What's the dead god's name? I don't remember.
Is it Tim?
Timothy.
Tim.
Tim. All right.
Yeah,
Tim.
good old Tim.
Good old scared Tim.
Ain't scared no more.
You should have followed instructions.
So, should I go fetch a guard while you guys take this fella somewhere safe? Or how do we want to do this?
Yeah, where is somewhere safe that we could go that people wouldn't ask questions? I don't want to take them to Harper HQ because they have stuff there.
We could take him to the south side of town to a tavern in which is often visited by people who do not like questions being asked.
And we could also plane shift to any place we've been before.
How does that come into play with the finding a place to rest for the night with a prisoner?
I mean, we have a lot of
going?
friends like in the plane of water that probably wouldn't ask questions had we just showed up and said, hey, we're back.
It might be an excessive use of power.
What was the deal with that quiet place again? It was all silenced.
It was like someone's boat in the harbor.
No, the place where I went and I wanted to cast spells, but I couldn't. Teo.
You paid by the hour, right? It's
Yeah,
pretty
it was
expensive.
just getting
Yeah, so it was called The Quiet Place. It was a tavern for relaxation and for really centering oneself in the world and finding their position, which, to help with the quiet atmosphere, had a permanent silent enchantment on the interior of the building.
Okay. All right. That's out. I want to talk to that guy. I just wanted to make sure I remembered that correctly.
Yep, you did. You could teach him sign language. And then
Probably learn it really fast. An elephant never forgets. No, it's a suggestion. It's fine. You just go to some random tavern where people keep their mouths shut. Generally speaking.
Is it one I've been to before, Nos, or is this a new one?
This is not one you've been to before, no.
All right.
You've only been to fancy places.
Tell me where it is. I'll come find you, and then I'll tell the guards about Tim.
Let's see. Yeah, it's in the eastern part of the city, very close to the mouth of the river.
Do you know its name?
Me? No.
Okay.
No, I'm just being in character and like.
Which is perfect. I was going to let you name one, create one.
Okay. The let's see. How about the festering fin?
The festering fin. Okay, so the festering fin, right on the edge of the water there. In fact, they have a couple bar booths that are actually quite often leaking with and flooded with some of the river water that seeps in through the bottom of this place. It's a bit of a stinky place. Not a lot of people go there. The sign out the front of it is actually made out of a shark's fin, which doesn't help it helps the atmosphere because it keeps people out, away from the place. What's the race of the bartender?
Kuatoan. Can it be?
Kuatoan. Okay. All right. So we have a Kuatoan. I need a Kuatoan name.
Just make it sound like you're blowing bubbles underwater, man.
No, there's a really awesome Kuatoan name, and I remember it. I'm going to take an NPC from the Out of the Abyss adventure because they are my favorite, and their name is wonderful. Here we go. Plooploopine. So, Plooploopine is the bartender of the Festering Fin on the eastern side of Neverwinter. All right. So, you guys head on inside with your prisoner. No one bats an eyelid at all. There's not many people inside this tavern. Plooploopine is meticulously licking clean all of the dishes and then scrubbing them with cloth, while you've got a few other clearly criminal-like individuals keeping their hoods up, trying to keep their position hidden all around the tavern. You can get yourself a nice little booth and a bottle of grog.
Great.
Nice. I thought we had talked before that we weren't going to come back to this place.
Yeah, but what other place doesn't ask any questions to the extent this place does? Not.
Yeah, but the aroma kind of burns.
You get used to it after about an hour. Just drink a lot,
Okay.
and then you won't care.
Do you think they reuse the bottles here?
Probably.
Once Plooploopine sees you come on in, gives a bit of a wave. He recognizes you. He remembers you. You just go.
What up? You too, man.
For coming.
Hey, you got room in here for 6 live bodies?
Always for plenty of room for you.
Do you have any way that these 6 places are cordoned off from the rest of the larger lodgings?
Oh, you want that kind of?
Yeah.
Okay. You know the price.
What's the price?
Maybe like 5 golds.
Negligible. All right.
It's a cheap place.
Okay, 5 gold is not negligible. That's 5 whole gold. Now silver is a different story. That isn't negligible. But gold, if it's anywhere above 1, you need to let me know.
Okay, 5 gold.
Okay. All right.
Negligible for crime, I should say.
Like a deposit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
right.
he'll then direct you towards a private area. It's private because it's even worse than anything else. It's below the tavern. The ground isn't even hard. It's soft mud. But you've got a quiet place by yourself.
All right, we'll set up here till Lafcadio comes find us.
Now, when you say a quiet place,
it's not silent.
okay.
So Lafcadio then goes off to find a city guard, and you have the Loxodon with you. You have Connor with you, or not?
No, they took the Loxodon. I'm just all by me onesies.
All right. Then by now, the City Watch have seen you enough times in the recent days to recognize the lion-maned tabaxi that's headed towards them. Do you look like yourself, or do you look like someone else in this occasion?
Pretty sure I'm still a lion, and I'm wearing my Neverwinter finest cloak.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I say, "G'day, mates."
Hello.
That monster who's been terrorizing the streets has struck again, and it got one of your mates. It got Tim. I got there just as it was happening, and the thing ran off. I haven't caught him yet. But I wanted to let you know that Tim is dead over there.
Over where?
Where I just came from, wherever that is.
All right. So this, you know the drill. Dead body left behind in an alleyway. Let's go clean it up. All right. Thank you, citizen. We'll take care of it.
Just keep your eyes open. That critter's still out there somewhere.
If it exists, we'll find it. They don't believe so.
All right. So I excuse myself and I go find the festering fin.
Okay. Once everyone's together and down in the festering fin, Pluplupine will direct Lafcadio down once Lafcadio indicates that he's with Nos and Wampum. So you're all privately inside the underbelly of the festering fin. There's the constant sound of dripping water coming from a particular beam in the middle of the basement, which Nos may or may not have seen or experienced someone use to affect an individual using water-based torture techniques. So what are you guys doing in this tavern? Are you resting here for the night? Is that the plan? What is the plan?
Also, I really like this place. It's making me hungry. It's got a quite a pleasant smell. I don't know what
Oh
it is.
yeah, you're a cat, so fish. That makes sense. Okay.
I mean, it's
Don't eat the bartender.
I'm not quite fond of the ground, but you know everything else is spot on. I'm gonna remember this place.
You got a pack. You can just roll out your bed sheet, put it on the ground. It's less squishy that way. Pro tip.
Good thinking.
So, Connor, my man,
Yes.
where did you come from? What city did you come from? What country?
Country? Well, I don't rightfully know too much about where we are here to be able to give any sort of reference, but my homeland is called Ravnica.
Never heard of it. Have you heard of us?
Who is us?
Neverwinter? Faerun?
Oh,
It's weird. All right. Did you get?
Sorry.
I did not come here according to my own will.
Just
Ooh.
expand on that, maybe.
I was out hunting. I had just managed to tame my companion when I decided to start testing his capabilities. Whilst out on the hunt, I felt a call, felt a pull, and walked towards a very powerful light. Through that light, I ended up in a busy metropolis. Metropolis filled with crime. Filled with confused people. People in pain. I wanted to fix that pain.
Weird way to go about it. But so how did you, were you already this way in your homeland? Were you somebody who hunted down, as you saw it, evildoers or people in pain and fixed their pain?
Yes. Me and my brothers would regularly go out and find those that were suffering and solve their pain, help them. If that meant an individual was in a physical ailment, we were to heal them. If a city was struggling under the weight of a tyrant, we would destroy the tyrant.
And you, and I assume your brethren, operated under the assumption that you were working in the service of the gods, because nobody was stopping you.
Yes, that is what we were taught. That is what we teach. That is what we know to be true.
That's what you were taught? Are
Isn't
all of your
everyone
people...
taught
Well,
their
no.
beliefs? How do you know what you know about your god?
It's a complicated question. Even asking how anybody knows anything about their gods it can get a little dicey when you start talking about knowledge and faith and known knowns and unknown unknowns and et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to get into that discussion right now, but
Don't.
Yes.
Are all the people from where you're from that are like you also like how you believe that
No.
the things you do?
No, it is just me and my family. My father and his father.
I see. And as acting in the manner that you act, you and your family, has that ever drawn the ire of anybody from your home place?
It has. More often than not, evildoers think they're doing righteous acts by trying to stop us from doing what we're doing. But evidenced by my presence here, the gods willed it that what we were doing was right, what they tried to do was wrong.
I see. So whenever something good happens to you, it's the right thing. If something bad happens to you, it's the wrong thing.
No, whatever happens to me is what should happen. What I choose to do afterwards determines the good or bad of an event. A person can have a death in the family, and depending on how they decide to act, that death could spur them on to be a greater person, or cause them to spiral into evil deeds.
And you mentioned you don't serve a particular god, you just serve, gosh, it sounds like yourself, in a way. I don't mean for it to sound as bad as it does, but...
To the ignorant, I can understand how it would seem as such.
Mm-hmm.
Gulp.
Well, look.
No offense meant. Ignorant just simply meaning the untaught, uninitiated, and such.
I know what ignorant means, right? So, I mean, just, here's the deal. We can't let you run around and just kill whoever you think it's okay for you to kill. You can't do that here. I don't know how it was where you're from, but here that is not okay. And we are the type of people that stop the type of person you are acting like, though not necessarily that you are, from doing that sort of thing.
There are people in place with jobs that take care of that kind of thing, specifically because they've somehow earned the trust necessary to give them those titles in this world so that stuff doesn't escalate. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So if I know a guy and you know a guy and we both like that guy, we trust what that guy says and how that guy judges, so we can have faith that that's all that we need to do with that, versus someone that maybe I trust and you don't, and you're like, hey, that's not right, that's not fair, that guy's biased. So we have people for this.
So you 5 can choose who lives and who dies, and I can't?
Correct.
And under what authority do you prescribe to do that? What gives you the right that does not give me the right?
Jurisdiction is a thing.
I can directly communicate with my God and ask Yes or no, can I kill this person? Or should I kill
For
this
the
person?
record, I don't disagree with you, Connor. Everything dies in its own time. That's simply the natural order of things. However, we don't necessarily want to cause undue disruptions in that natural order in the progression from life to death through forceful means if it can be avoided.
Right. I somehow don't think you understand where I'm coming from here. You
Ravnica, right?
yes. What you say is absolutely right. What was your name, Dark One?
Taslin.
Taslin. So, Taslin, you say that we should not unduly end a person's life, but all lives end in their own time. A death by your hands is a death that has been fated to happen, is it not?
Perhaps if they force it.
But but their death is still fated
On
to
me.
happen.
True.
By that same logic, then all death is fated to happen in their time. Whether I'm the instrument or you're the instrument or a large rock is the instrument, death is death. It happens.
I concede to your point.
To be honest with you, I don't really give a crap what happens elsewhere in the wilderness, far away from this city. It's just the fact that you're in this city, and that complicates things. That is bringing us together here today and causing problems. When you have a mass of thinking, sentient creatures, shit can get complicated. So that's why we need to rely on the people that are in charge, that actually have earned titles and positions in the ranks.
So if you five are granted the authority to choose who lives and who dies, how do I gain that authority?
Well, we're going to talk to the person that comes the closest right now to somebody who can actually give that power. So we'll be talking to her tomorrow morning.
And you gained this power from her?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it started there. It started there with them and the rings, I think. Before that, we didn't have any power.
Very well. I will listen to what this woman has to say. And if it causes you undue harm, I would be willing to go elsewhere. Take my opinions to another place.
Frankly, I'd be quite pleased with that outcome.
Very well.
Well, it's going to be a long night, and as a spellcaster, I'm sure you want to get a good rest. I think that's what our plans are as well. Obviously, we'll be taking watch, so you don't have to worry about anything. We'll make sure everything's nice and safe. But you should get a good night's sleep.
Okay. Somehow, I feel like that was an attempt to do something. I don't understand. All right. He will start bedding down to rest. Is he still manacled? Is he still shackled?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So this proves to be difficult. Before we rest, if we are to spend the night here, I would prefer to call my companion to be here.
Hard no on that one.
I don't see any reason why we can't trust him enough to have his companion here. He voluntarily surrendered.
Well,
If he had wanted this the hard way, he would have fought us at the beginning.
Maybe a compromise is achievable. Can you tell us, the nature of your control of your companion? If we better understood how that worked, then perhaps we would be less skittish about having this thing in the same room as us.
The control that I share over him stems from years of friendship. He is what he is because he made a choice that went bad. I do not hate my friend for it, but he changed that day, lost himself, lost who he was, and became that creature. I managed to recover some semblance of his mind, enough to tame him and travel with him. But he obeys my instruction simply because he trusts me.
And how do you deliver those instructions?
I tell him, I speak to him. I can call him and summon him through magics you may be aware of. I do not know if you are capable of communicating over great distances with specific individuals. Short messages back and forth. I would call him, he would come here, and I would speak to him the command.
Speak as in orally?
Yes.
Using your mouth? With
Using my
sound?
mouth. Yes.
Not telepathically or...
No, not telepathic. Are you telepathic?
As far as you know. So... All right. I'll look at everyone else and I'll be like, it would be kind of a huge power play on our part if we were to be like, yeah, we don't care. You could just send whatever you want. We could totally just take you out anyway. Like, it doesn't matter. Still don't like it, but I defer to the rest of you.
Well, I guess I'd rather know where it is rather than not know where it is.
Indeed. I'm not against it either.
Yeah, this is not something that I care about.
I will be resting elsewhere.
Okay. It may matter to you for a moment because in order for me to call him, these manacles must be removed. They are hindering my capability of doing so.
All right. Well, if that's the case, I think we can take off your manacles for one spell, and if anything goes awry, you just know that there are very practiced spellcasters in your midst, and if you try to do something that we're not expecting, then it will end poorly for you.
Indeed, I've never had a Loxodon skeleton.
Wampum will go ahead and take the manacles off.
Thank you. Thank you. And so he's going to start performing the components necessary for a spell.
Can I do an Arcana check to see what spell he's doing?
Yes, you can.
All right. It's a 21.
21. Okay. So he is casting a sending. That is all he's doing. Just a simple sending spell. You swear you even hear the slight mutter of the message, which is just simply a "Come to me, my friend." As soon as the cast is finished and the flare of energy goes off, he holds his hands up and puts them back down, ready to be manacled one more time.
Dude, does he really need these?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Wampum will throw the manacles to Lefcardio and the key. It's yours then.
All right. So he was willing. You lock him up. A moment later, out of the shadow will step the Bone Claw itself. This tall, it's kind of scrunched out underneath the roof here, but it's probably about 7 or 8 foot tall, huge, long claws. It is clearly some form of undead creature. It looks like it's had every ounce of liquid just drained from it. And it just steps out of the shadow, stands behind Connor, and just stays there.
Me friend, Nos.
No response from the Bone Claw, but Connor will say, in time, he might respond.
Cool. Does he have a name?
He does. His name prior to his change was Carmen. Unfortunately, he is no longer the same person, so he doesn't respond to that name so much. Maybe on a lucid day, but not so often.
And how did he become this?
Oh, he tried to become a lich.
Oh.
Failed.
I suppose a handshake is a bad idea.
It will rip off your arm. Not intentionally, just by accident.
Thought I'd ask.
No. Well, we must rest now. It'll nod. And then it'll sit down cross-legged with its legs around him, and he'll sit down cross-legged inside of its lap, and they'll just both nod their head. Start going to sleep.
That's pretty cute.
Fan art.
All right,
So-
I'm happy to take the first watch. Wampum, are you not? You don't want to stay here?
Nah, I don't believe so.
Where are you going to go, Wampum?
Go back to the Fleepa Floop.
Floopine upstairs. Yeah.
And I'm going to get a room higher away from water.
Fair enough.
Taslim will
Oh.
join Wampum if allowed. It's not too
That's okay.
keen to be within reaching distance of a giant undead monstrosity.
I understand apprehension, but I think we need at least 4 people to stand watch.
I'll be back down after I've rested for 4 hours.
Very good.
Okay. So, 2 of the 5 of you gonna go up 2 flights of stairs away, and 3 of the 5 of you will stay in with the Connor and his pet Boneclaw. Okay,
Sounds good.
that's a better balance. All right. So, who's taking the first watch?
I'll take a first watch, and I'm going to be keenly trying as best as I can to make sure that the Bone Claw isn't messing with the manacles.
Roll a perception check.
That is 15.
15. Okay. During your 2-hour watch, everything seems very quiet. Everything seems very boring. Not a movement. These guys stay in that cross-legged sat position, which is weird. How could a person actually fall asleep like that? But he manages to do so, and nothing happens during your watch. Who do you pass off to?
Me, it's me.
I nudge Kale. Say, Kale, they just look like they're sleeping. I didn't see anything, so.
Sure. Yep. I will stare at them.
And
You're gonna
Lafcania's
stare at-
watch was how many hours?
2 hours.
Okay.
Okay, so Kale, roll a perception check.
I got so plus some numbers. 22.
Okay. So there's a lot of noise outside of the tavern, but mostly because that's just the party time at this end of town. A lot of screams, shouts, a little bit of music being played. Yeah, just like that. But nothing happening with the Loxodon and the Bone Claw. So it's about the end of your watch that Taslin comes down.
Yep.
But who is taking the third watch?
Taslin will take the watch. And
So,
I did not
Taslin?
attune to the scythe, so
You haven't attuned to it.
I haven't.
okay?
I'm still holding on to it. I did prepare a spell today, preemptively, but I haven't attuned to it. And
What spell?
it's remove curse.
Right, okay.
But
Um,
but I
when he starts his watch, I just tell him basically what's going on, and then I tap him on the shoulder and I cast Enhance Ability on him.
Okay. So for out of the 2-hour watch that he sits down for, how much of that is he really good for?
1
hour. Okay.
1 hour of Owl's Wisdom. So.
Okay. So 1 hour at advantage, the other hour normal. Go ahead and roll.
Alright, that is a 24 for the first hour.
And
And then
nothing
a-
happens during that first hour.
an 18 for the second one. I lost a dice.
Oh, no. The second hour, towards the end of the second hour, everything's just proving boring. Nothing's happening. These guys are still sitting. They shift a little bit, but that's just to stretch muscles out. That's it.
Scorching Ray. 8 foot.
Fourth watch. Is that going to be Tesla again? Or is it going to be someone else?
Wampum will come down
Okay. All right.
and relieve Taslin.
Taslin will assist in his watch because Taslin doesn't need to sleep anymore.
All right. Well, roll a perception check for your watch.
Wampum has a 16.
I have a 17 total.
Well, luckily for all of you, nothing happened on any of those rolls. So at the end of the long rest, you guys all wake up bright and early, first thing in the morning, and everything's as normal. Just as dawn is breaking, and some light is starting to creak through the floorboards of the tavern, you watch as the bone claw actually fades out of view and disappears.
Alright. Is the Loxodon still wearing the manacles?
Still appears to be wearing the manacles. He's not
Alright.
tried to escape.
What a good guy.
I know, right?
I like how you said appears to be.
Yeah, I know, right?
Real quick, everyone has 10 temporary HPs.
Hey, thanks.
Welcome.
Being such an awesome dude.
Okay. So, on this morning, what are we to do today?
Well, first I would like to get out of this fish-smelling tavern. No offense to the barkeep.
I like it here.
Me too, mate. But then, yeah, we're gonna find our contact.
And perhaps you can tell us about your homeland while we travel. I'm unfamiliar with Ravnica.
It is a more advanced place than this. You individuals seem somewhat primitive in comparison. Not, again, I mean no offense. This is just the way it is. We
None taken.
use magic far more commonly for more mundane tasks to make it much easier to do everything else in life.
Well, I'm sure the numerous deaths of Mistra would have sped things up in Faerun.
Yeah, I didn't get that one either.
Do we have an appointment with the Rathra, or
So you don't necessarily have an appointment with her, but the last time you spoke to her, she was out at Helm's Hold, which is a 20-mile away walk. So she was gonna be in Neverwinter sometime during the day. Since she is connected to the Harper organization, it makes sense that her first port of call would be to check in with the Harpers. They're probably the best people to speak to see if she's turned up yet. Okay. So
That's what we'll do.
Should we... I don't know. After last time, I'm reluctant to bring an outsider into the Harper's HQ. Should we...
I'll wait outside with him.
I'll also wait outside with him.
I'm curious. Am I to stay your prisoner now? Is that what you plan for me, to follow you everywhere?
Yes.
No.
Wait, no. Yeah, no.
We are simply taking precautions because the last time we did something like this, it ended poorly and ended in undue deaths to people that didn't deserve it.
But you're not them, so.
Yeah, no offense.
None taken.
Ultimately, you will be turned over to the Neverwinter authorities to face justice. It's just the nature of that justice that was yet to be determined. Because you killed one of the mates of the folks who would dispense that justice, we're just uneasy about turning you directly over to their custody. So we just want to make sure we do this, respecting your life as well as everyone else's lives.
Where is the ambiguity on jurisdiction, then? If these City Watch are the right jurisdiction for this town, who are we going to speak to, and why do they have more authority?
So, alright, so this is how it works over here in Faerun, right? So you got these big massive cities that are dotted all along the coastal region here, where we are. This is one of them. They are governed over by people with titles of Lord Protector. The current Lord Protector of Neverwinter just recently bit the bucket. What's the saying? Something like that. Kick the bucket, that's it.
Died.
So, died, yeah. He died. So, in the meantime, this place does not have a Lord Protector. That's usually where something like this would go. There is another Lord Protector that is coming from another large city. So she has the same authority, but she is from this other place. Now, if we need to get you taken care of and handled like that, like it's really necessary to hurry it up, then she may decide what to do with you. If not, if you can be held safely, then she may decide it's best for the next Lord Protector to figure out what to do with you. That's not our call.
Very well. Thank you.
My pleasure. Anytime. If you need explanations of ranks, I gotcha.
So you guys head back over into the chasm, so into the side of the chasm to go to the still being repaired Harper HQ. It's looking much better than it was the last time you'd come by. And yes, as always, people, as last time, people are now a little bit nervous when you start arriving with someone else, especially someone that strikes such an imposing figure, a large individual wearing a black plate armor with the shape of a dragon's head in manacles. That doesn't bode well for what's about to happen. So you leave him alone with Taslin and Kale, and the rest head on in. Through the glass domed entrance to the Harpers, you will see Darathra Shendrel is there. She is meeting with some of the more notable individuals, the harp shadows that you may have encountered. And she's just getting a rundown and you can see they're giving her a list of, okay, this is what the supplies we have, this is the situation we're in, these are the tasks that have yet to be completed. So it seems like she's taking authority over the the shop over the place. As you all approach, she'll nod and greet. There'll be a moment where she finishes off whatever she's talking about and then heads over towards each of you. Well met, everyone. It's glad to see you all well. Did something terrible happen to the others? No? Okay.
Yeah, they're just waiting up top. We've got a lot to talk about. That's one of the things. Can we have like a moment of your time and a little bit of privacy?
But of course, let us walk. And she'll actually take you out walking through the chasm as opposed to the Harper HQ. No offense, but things break around you, so let's go for a walk outside. And so, stepping outside, she'll see Taslin and Kale and Connor. Ah, there are the rest of them. So, would you like to continue this conversation privately, or should we call in your companions?
Let's. There's that third fella there, that real tall fella. We're gonna, I think, keep him in the dark a little bit while we have this chat.
Right. Well, how can we aid you?
Right. Well, last time we spoke, or last time we saw each other face to face, was quite a while ago, and lots is going on. We've hopped about all the planes, and as far as we know, we've sorted out the problem with the various elemental planes and the shadow plane and the Feywild, all sorted. It would appear that Lord Belvedere, the fellow who was running things here in Neverwinter, at some point was replaced by the villain, Giannis. He made like a copy of himself, and it wasn't ever Lord Belvedere. At some point he went away. So right now there is no Lord Protector of Neverwinter, and I don't know who else knows. We haven't really told anyone else. I think your Hopper friends are already in the know, but as far as that secret goes, I think it's just us.
Word has already begun spreading through the channels that Lord Belvedere is missing. That is the current opinion, that he is missing right now. No one knows how or why, where he went, but only that must have been a very skilled thief or assassin, as there was no signs of break-in and his place is warded against some very powerful magics. The messages have been sent magically through each of the local Lord Protectors. We have, oddly enough, been given only 5 days to find Lord Belvedere before the process of replacing him begins. So,
all right. Well, it is like one of the most pressing things, and it sounds like you guys are on the ball there. So kudos. All right. Now that big fella,
yes.
he's apparently some sort of vigilante type. From what we gather, there have been some folks who have been in trouble here in Neverwinter, and he has come to their rescue. So top marks for that. However, he also murdered one of the guards of Neverwinter, who was trying to learn more about him. So the guard was not guilty of any crime as far as we could tell. So he just killed him just to keep his identity safe and secret. So we've apprehended him. It seems like he ought to be put to whatever justice Neverwinter would do. But we were leery of just turning him over to the gods, since he just killed one of the gods, and they might rush to justice.
He's also a 9-foot tall elephant man, but that's neither here nor there.
Right. Okay.
He's a little sensitive about it.
Fair enough. So you say, other than the murder, of the city watchman. He did a lot of good.
Reports of 2 separate occasions where he came to people's aid and prevented some sort of crime from taking place. So I can't say he's done a lot of good. All we know for sure is 2 instances where he's done good from the perspective of the folks he aided.
Have you said yet that he's not from here? Did we say that?
He claims he's from some place called Ravnica.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but I certainly would have expected a 9-foot-tall elephant man to not have been from around here.
You don't know man of wizards.
True. So it's right now we are in a... Yeah.
One other detail. His preferred method of assisting is the use of an undead friend, which we've identified as some sort of bone claw on account of its claw-like appendages made of bone. And this undead creature is somewhere here in Neverwinter and can be summoned to this fella's side and can just like appear out of the shadows, it seems. So it's, I guess, one other variable to keep in mind.
Well, I've read about bone claws in a book of monstrosities, so they are quite dangerous creatures, and he's managed to control one.
Well, he says that the fella who became the Bone Claw was attempting to become a lich, but prior to that, they were mates. So somehow they're still mates. So it's not clear if it's control or friendship.
Well, I must admit I'm quite intrigued by this fellow. Capabilities seem to be something that should be taken into consideration. And our current situation is we need all the hands we could possibly get. I am inclined to interview him for potential use rather than punishment. But what say you?
Absolutely. He was asking who distributes power. It sounds like he's really motivated to help the city, for sure.
I do have a concern. His core beliefs seem to be that he can do no wrong. So if you could control that, then that sounds like potentially a worthwhile end. However, if you can't re-educate him, then it seems like it's only a matter of time before he goes off and goes back to his old ways of killing whoever he wants to kill.
If he does start turning down a different path, he seemed all right with the concept of exile if you have to.
Well, again, I'm not too keen on that either, because then he's just going to go murder some other folks in some other town. But, I'm not the one who makes these decisions. You get paid the big bucks for that. So.
Well, okay. Would you mind giving him over into our custody for a little while I see how amiable he might be towards work, as opposed to vigilantism? Maybe we can put a little bit of a leash on this rocket.
Well, I don't have any objection to that. However, now that we've discussed everything, I would like to bring us over to our mates, and in case they have anything they want to add to it, and then obviously I feel comfortable turning them over to you.
Okay.
Kale,
So-
Kaislin, I filled in Dorathra. She wants to have a chat with this fella. Is there anything that you could imagine that I might have left out?
So, backtracking a little bit, were you guys in view of us while you were having that conversation? Like you were just kind of over there?
Probably in view.
Okay. So, like, as they started coming over, I would have liked to cast a spell called Detect Evil and Good.
Okay.
Boop. And then I also have to roll 20. Just, just in case. Dorathra's not really Dorathra so much, but something else, maybe. And stuff could happen.
Who knows? So you get to sense if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. There are no aberrations, celestials, elementals, fey, fiend, or undead. So you're in the clear.
Should I also cast True Seeing? No, I'm good. That's overkill. Okay, so they come over. I'm cool. Everybody's cool. We're gonna be cool, and we just.
Yes.
Okay.
It's quite cold.
All right. Yes, I had kind of the same feeling. I feel as though Connor, you could be a powerful ally. But I'm sure Dorathra can make a much better pitch than I can. So I'm open to that idea.
Very well. Then if it is okay with you all, I will take him. We will put him in our holding cells, and then Sir Connor, is it? We will... you and I will chat. My name is Dorathra Chandrel. I'm the leader of this here organization, and as of right now, the highest ranking individual within any sort of local law enforcement. So we can discuss openly.
So while she's saying all that, could I just real quick
Just real quick, yeah.
read her thoughts?
She is already trying to think of ways that she can utilize him in...
Well, she gets a whiz save against it.
Oh, yeah. So you're not actually casting Detect Thoughts, you're...
Channel Divinity.
Channel Divinity. Right. Always forget that yours does it weirdly. That is a whopping 12.
All right, I can read her thoughts.
Yeah. Okay. So she's trying to think of ways in which she can utilize him, areas in the world that she could just kind of drop him in and let him go, and maybe see how effective that would be. Monitor the way the world changes around him in a controlled environment, maybe, and then let him loose on very targeted individuals. Maybe if we can teach him, we could actually start giving him targets.
Which areas of the world?
Off the top of her head, she doesn't have any in mind.
Okay. All right. Well.
Probably deserted islands, controlled locations.
Sure. So I lifted this dude's spellbook and wand.
Yep.
Are there like blank pages in the spellbook anywhere?
There are.
I just like rip one out, just kind of pocket it before I give it back to him. Well, I'm not going to give it to him. I'll give it to Dorathra.
So if you remember rightly, his spellbook was a different spellbook in that each page was not actually connected into one big binder book. So he had a bunch of pages that would slide underneath different panels of his plate armor. And so he does have blank sheets that you could just take and all of that and give them back to Dorathra.
Yep.
That'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm going to just do that.
Okay. All right. So after that is sorted, Dorathra will return and talk frankly with you. We know, and I trust you, that Lord Belvedere is actually dead. The City Watch is looking for a missing person. That's going to keep them busy.
Whoa!
Uh-oh.
Oh my god!
360.
He's dead.
Yep.
Just hit squad just came in, man.
The DM keeled over.
Jeez, I hope.
He's not getting back up.
What the hell?
Was it a
Something-
webcam that fell over? Was it his laptop or?
Somebody just like bust into his room and.
Somebody flipped his desk.
Yeah.
Didn't like how he was running stuff.
Loxodon Wizard isn't optimal!
Well, if it was just his if it was just his webcam, then he would be able to hear us and talk to us. So there must be something else
It
going
was
on.
the whole desk.
We should have prepared for events like this,
It's all the way gone.
like beatboxing,
Beatboxing.
makeshift bard songs.
So you can start, and we will all take your cue.
If only I could beatbox.
Here he
And look
comes.
at that! Conveniently, he comes back at the right time.
Hey, so this is just a temporary measure while my internet reconnects. So what happened was my camera decided it was going to fall. It fell onto my modem and knocked the internet cable out. So
Couldn't have
that's
planned
no
it
good.
better.
Yep. My computer needs but a moment to re-log in. Hopefully I'll join in. I shall be back in just a moment. Bear with me, guys.
Alright, so about that beatboxing.
Oh boy. That was a hail to start.
Are you okay? Like,
The look on Casey's face was priceless.
Not on live cam, no!
sounded like snorkeling gone wrong.
I always think it sounds like an orangutan that gets upset.
You always like this is something that's
This
happened.
is something that's happened
a lot of
before.
times.
That's why I'm like, not on cam.
Oh man. Well, and Carl, if it's like a dream or something, pardon us for being
Yeah.
so critical openly.
Don't want to laugh at your dreams, man.
Well, it was until this moment.
Honestly, though, if I could be real with you, that's probably for the best. If I've learned one thing in life, especially having been in the military for some time, it's that hopes and dreams are stupid and you shouldn't have any of them.
My friend that was
Military
in the
would do
Marines
that.
said that same exact quote when he got back from deployment.
All right. What did I miss?
Oh,
Nothing.
Carl beatboxing.
Yep, just that. So nothing.
Everyone's a critic.
Okay. I'll have to watch the rerun, which will be held Tuesday.
But you don't have to. Really, you didn't miss much.
I think as the
If you would
DM,
like to
he's
see
supposed
more beatboxing, leave it below in the comments. And subscribe.
All right. Where were we when my computer decided it wasn't happy
The
with this?
Rathra had just come back and was
Yes.
about to bring up a new ticket saying that the guards were looking into a missing person and that he was probably dead.
So we know Lord Belvedere is actually dead. The City Watch are going to be looking for a missing person for the next 5 days, but also the individuals that anyone else that was involved in his death would be aware of his death as well. There will be a new Lord Protector of Neverwinter set up, and I think we have a head start on the competition on this. What will happen is publicly a number of candidates will put themselves forward. After being selected by a group of judges from the Lord's Alliance, those candidates will then be sent to public approval. The public will vote, and those votes will be interpreted by the Lord's Alliance judges. Accurately or inaccurately is another matter, but eventually a new Lord Protector will be determined. We have an opportunity here, I think, to make sure that things go in the right direction. Would you help me with this matter?
What do you mean by the right direction?
The direction we approve of?
And will there be a talent show portion?
Perhaps.
Because I have heard Lafcadio before. He can do this great thing called beatboxing. It's where you make music with your lips and throat, but it's not singing.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
You have to see it to understand. It's impossible to explain. It's too awesome to behold. Anyway, you're being really dodgy, I feel, intentionally as to what exactly you intend to do. So if you could just lay that out, that would be great.
Yes. What candidate do you ideally want to sit on the ivory throne of Waterdeep?
I don't care about Waterdeep, but Neverwinter would be a great city to help right now. Neverwinter has for a very long time sat firmly under the control and the guidance of the Lord's Alliance. And while the Lord's Alliance are effective, their motives are often very selfish, and we would like to ensure that there is a individual on the throne that will at least listen to guidance from myself and my friends. I wouldn't even hope to take that position, but I would back the individuals who would.
Can I do an insight check to see if she's fishing by saying she doesn't want to take it?
Roll an insight check.
All right, that's a nat one. Never mind me.
No idea.
Yep.
So where would you get the candidates from? Like here? Or are they people? Is there like a short list that you already have in mind?
For a Harper-backed one, we would look for individuals of prominence within the city, those who we've worked with before, those who we can trust. We might call in a friend of the city from another location, but that rarely is successful, as the appearance of the public vote is actually fairly useful. But
are any of us on this list?
Oh, gods, no.
Well, you don't have to say it like that.
Yeah.
Not originally. I was hoping you might be able to help me situate the right kind of individual in place, and rather than actually become the Lord. It's more like a figurehead kind of position than anything else, and you guys are far more useful out in the field, I would say.
I mean, I was gonna offer, but
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't.
if you don't think I have an honest shot, then there's not much of a point in putting myself out there, is there?
Well, I think you could do a lot of good simply by presenting yourself forward. We've never had a hobgoblin Lord Protector, and honestly, I don't know how the city would react to such a thing. It would be refreshing to the city, quite honest, probably, to witness it.
Well, I mean, I don't know anything about running for politics in human society or anything. You said Harper-backed candidate. Does that mean that you need like an organization behind you, or?
No, it's just rather expensive. and we cover that sort of thing ourselves. Each of the candidates is most likely going to present themselves for candidacy and then start campaigning for their position. That method of campaigning is usually very expensive. There are very few, if not only one individual I can think of that managed to do so without a known backer, and that was Lord Belvedere.
Well, Lady Durathra, if you have faith in me, I mean, I know me, I trust me. I'm pretty sure everyone here trusts me at this point. If I were to become Lord Protector, then I don't think that anyone here would have any doubts about the kind of job that I would be capable of doing, right?
I certainly wouldn't have any doubts about what you'd be capable of. I would only doubt the limit of your reach while you're here in this city. There is a lot of good that you could do when not tied down to this place. But if you're willing to do such a thing, then you will have our backing. You've certainly earned your trust with us.
It would be a job that comes with most of the things that I've been seeking. Respect, power, steadier income, place to belong, people to protect. So, unless anybody right now wants to persuade me out of this, then I will ally myself with the Harpers and we will do this.
Well, Moss, it seems like this would be a decision you'd make that would have us parting company. Well, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I'm probably not gonna just hang out in Neverwinter. I mean, I'd always come and visit if you were the protector, but I think my destiny lies elsewhere.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. Wampum, specifically. You hired me to perform a job, and we have not completed that job. Kale, we are on a mission to find someone, and I know that we have not found her yet.
I'm on a mission to find someone. It's not... It doesn't even approach the importance of anything else that we've done together as a group. But we've accomplished the goal that we were gathered together to originally do. So if you would like to pursue this course of action, then I see no reason why me or anyone else should stand in your way.
Well, for once, I kind of agree with the elf. I believe that it's time for you to follow your own path.
Taslin, anything out of you?
I don't feel I have the right to say anything. And
Go ahead and say something, just for fun.
all right. He pulls out his little spell book and he like kind of pulls out a quill and he like writes down like a bunch of bullet points. And he's like, "What if we killed Giannis, but the organization or individuals he works for are not yet done? We may have set them back, but have not removed the threat. Should they arise, we are out of a frontline fighter of your skill that we've come to count on and rely on in these fights to keep us, and more importantly, me, alive."
Stop, go on.
Number 2. While I do not doubt your heart and your view and integrity, I do feel that court politics are not well suited to your skills, and I don't want you to be taken advantage of or used for any one organization's gain over the betterment of the people in this city. 3, I would just really like you to stay with us. I've come to rather like you all. So Tazlin shuts his book and he turns away and he kind of walks like 10, 15 feet away from the group to hide the fact that he's been nice.
I'll refrain from doing a really loud "aw" to draw everyone's attention back to him. But I'll nod and say thank you for saying what you needed to say. Turn back to Darathra. Nod. Let's do this. What do I need to do?
We have 5 days to teach you how to be political. I think the most important thing would be to prepare for that the list of candidates that do arrive. Once we get an idea of who is putting themselves forward, and who the judges are, we can then start investigating these individuals, learn how to beat them, but also their motivations. If, as Tazlin mentioned, the individuals behind Giannis are still around, then they might want to have a hand in this as well. So we should identify who that is and if there is anyone shady. I will try to get a list of all those who will sit on the Council of Lords in the final deciding factor. But if you have any thoughts or ideas, well, there's not really much we can do right now until we get that list of candidates, which requires us to wait 5 days in mourning for Lord Belvedere. So then there'll be the funeral, all of that. So I guess you have your own time for a couple of days. We'll contact you and we'll start dolving out information as soon as we get some. Okay?
If you need me to be somewhere specific in an instant, tell Kale. And Kale will tell me. Is that okay, Kale?
Sure.
Because it's magic.
Yeah, I mean, she could tell you directly, the same way that she would be telling me. But if that's how you want to do things, that's fine.
I don't know how things work.
It's really not invasive at all. But it's fine.
Okay. So she will return into the headquarters, the Harper HQ, to continue setting up and getting everything ready. The number one priority for her is spreading out her spy network and getting as much information out as possible. So you guys have 5 in-game days where you can do whatever you want.
Well, I want to get my bowl. I paid to have a bowl made, and I want it.
Okay. You go get that bowl.
Tazlin, Wampum, should we take a trip over to the Plane of Fire to retrieve your item?
That would be yes.
Yes. All right. Anyone else interested in going with us when we go to recover this?
Boy, am I not interested in that at all.
Oh, come on, Kale. It'll be exciting.
Fire was awful.
Or drow.
There were drow and Ifrit and demons and fiends of all sorts of kinds. Did not enjoy it. I'm sure you guys will be fine. Just a quick trip. You're picking up a shield. Nothing will go wrong.
I will hold out my hands for whoever is going to come with me.
I'll want to come with, but I feel like if we do get into trouble, I'd like to have, I'd like to improve my my hand crossbow. Not so much the crossbow itself, but maybe get some bolts silvered, because I feel like silvered weapons can sometimes hurt these extra planar creatures more than the non-silvered varieties. So if you give me just a moment, I'm going to go take care of that, and then I'll be right back.
Of course, and now that you mention it, when we did face Giannis, he was speaking to someone, correct?
Yep.
And did we happen to make out any of the names or what language they were speaking? I couldn't understand it.
Abyssal.
And
we didn't get any identification of any kind. The disembodied voice basically just was chewing him out, to use a particular term I heard. It said he was a disappointment, and it knew that we were where we were. The only lead we have on any sort of fiendish entity that is working against us actively would be Zariel, who took hold of our previous companion's spirit after she was killed. But it would be odd for a Lord of Hell, a devil, to be speaking Abyssal and not Infernal. But maybe that's just to throw people off. I don't know. So.
all right, go get your stuff. We'll be here. We'll wait for 20 or so minutes. Are you all right with that, Wampum?
I've waited this far. You
That's
need
cool.
some. You need some coin there, Mr. Lefcadio.
No, I'm good. Thanks, mate.
Hey, Cal.
Mm-hmm.
Come with us. Come on. Come with us. Come on.
I mean,
Come on.
all right. Well,
It's just not
let
the
me
same without you.
I'm gonna keep saying
let
it.
me get my bowl first. I need this bowl. It's very important that I have a bowl.
Okay, but then you come with us.
Yeah, whatever. Okay?
So while I'm waiting for everyone to rejoin me, I'll cast Remove Curse on the Scythe, which should remove any atonement from any previous attuner.
Toad.
No, that
No?
doesn't work that way.
Oh,
If a creature was previously attuned to an item and they died, then they would lose attunement to the item.
yeah. I'm
If-
just not sure if he's dead, so I'm...
If you were to attune to the item yourself, it would cause him to lose attunement to the item
Okay.
for him,
right.
himself.
Alright, and it wouldn't take about an hour for them to get all the ingredients.
Yeah, I'd say it would take about that time.
Okay, I'll tune to the Scythe.
Okay. Right. As soon as you do so, roll a charisma check.
Alright. That is a whopping 17.
Okay. Check, right? Not save?
Yeah. Yeah, check.
Okay. All right. Were you alone in this?
No, I'm standing right next to, like, Wampum.
Okay.
Everybody.
So everyone's aware of the fact that you are attuning to the scythe that you picked up, right?
Mm-hmm. And as far as I know, no one's identified it, except for me.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, unfortunately, it is a cursed magical item. And the first aspect of the curse is that you become unwilling to part with this. Now, unwilling to part with this does include you would be unwilling to cast Remove Curse on yourself to be able to break the attunement. So that's not going to work for yourself. Other people could do it on you, but not for you.
But why would you do that unless someone was forcing it? Because
Yeah.
you don't want it. Yeah.
So, but instead, what happens now in this moment is that the scythe itself has taken full control over Taslin's body, and is going to do its best, its darndest, to pretend to be Taslin for a moment and come up with some form of excuse to just separate from the group for but a moment. Having access to Taslin's mind and memories, what's an excuse that Taslin would come up with that she thinks the party might believe? He thinks that the party might believe.
I'm going to grab some ingredients for a spell. Knowing that Lefcadio has already left,
any particular spell?
Let's see. Yeah. He will say that he's going to get a small chest for the Lehman's secret chest that he had paid to learn.
Okay. All right. So everyone else will hear, will see Taslin inspecting the item, swinging it a couple times. You'll see the little spark of electricity come from the edge of it, indicating he's gaining power and control over it. This is okay. This could work. This could work. All right. I forgot. I need to grab something real quick. A spell component. A little chest, secret chest spell. So I won't be long. I'll be back before Lafcadio is, if that's all right. Guys?
Just wait here.
Yeah, just wait here. I'll be right back.
Now, at this point, I'd already left also to go get my bowl.
Yep, you had gone to get your bowl.
Okay, make sure.
Okay. All right. Wampum, would you say anything otherwise?
Can I roll an insight check just to see if I catch anything that might be odd?
Yes, you can roll an insight check.
That's only a 15.
Unfortunately not. This creature seems to be effectively deceptive. All right. So, Taslin, without anyone following you, you separate from the group. You feel this thing controlling every ounce of your aspect, and for the next 12 hours, it has full control over your capabilities. As it steps away, it will check over what you're now capable of. There is something very specific that you're capable of.
Plane shift?
Plane shift. And you're going to leave.
Okay.
Okay. So that weapon desires to go home. And so it will. And it managed to successfully do so with your body.
Okay.
As a result, it'll be... How long would Nos wait before she realizes Taslin's not coming back?
Probably like 5 to 10 minutes, but she'd remain there until somebody else returned as well. And they're like, have you seen Taslin? So who gets back first?
Yeah.
Any one of them would have returned back. You got your bowl. It was made for you. It was prepared. Everything's good.
Thank goodness.
Yep.
We both come back. Lafcadio and I come walking back at the same time. Don't know how that happened.
Before I came back, I wasn't actually leaving to get my crossbow bolts silvered. I wanted to try and because the whole reason that I was in Neverwinter is because the Emerald Enclave sent me to spy on Lord Belvedere just to see if he was an all right fella and to see if all the magical items were were safe, because he has a stash, or the Neverwinter has a stash. So I need to report back to the Emerald Enclave that things have changed. So if I'm aware that there is an Emerald Enclave representative in or around Neverwinter, I would like to pay them a visit. And if there's not, then I'd like to maybe compose a letter and have it sent in some fashion.
Okay. You are aware of a small enclave that is associated with Neverwinter. It's just outside the walls, no more than 20-minute walk outside the walls. There's a small hut where it looks more like a trader's post than anything else. That is where the Emerald Enclave representative does, or at least the contact does, tend to spend most of his time. The individual is, his name is Matrim, and he is, for all intents and purposes, looks like a bard. But you recognize the telltale signs of an Emerald Enclave individual. So you would understand that typically bards aren't members of the Enclave, so he's probably some form of nature-based individual aside from it. The report that you give to them, you indicate, obviously, do you let them know that Lord Belvedere is dead?
I do. I tell him that Belvedere is dead. Some villain was posing as him. I've got the information from the Hoppers that that they're gonna give it 5 days to look for Belvedere, but they're not gonna find him because he's dead. And then they're gonna start elections, and it sounds like the Hoppers are gonna front a hobgoblin named Nos. So if you want me to influence anything, I'm happy to do it. But as far as my mission, I don't know what you want me to do. Do you want me to stay and make sure that the items that Neverwinter has at its disposal are still safe, or what is it? What is my next step? And you don't have to tell me now. You can, let me know later. I want to give you all that information.
I appreciate the information. So let me introduce you to Mr. Kitty. And he'll pull you into a tent where you'll see a whole wall filled with cages of cats. All over the place, all in cages. I don't know how you feel about that, being Tabaxi, but a whole host of them. This is Mr. Kitty. He's my spies in the city. During all of this, when powers are changing, when things are going on, I'll be sending my kittens out to find information. If you come across one, it might be useful to maybe throw a bit of information their way every now and then. They might have something for you. If a cat randomly walks up to you and sits down, it usually has a message from me. Okay?
Got it.
Great.
If the Enclave doesn't have a candidate of their own, I can vouch for the hobgoblin the Hoppers are putting forward. Is at least as far as not abusing the magical items that Neverwinter has at its disposal. So for whatever that's worth.
Understood. Well, thank you. That's very good information.
Right. All right.
Till next time.
Have a good day.
Okay. All right. So, you guys return, walking in at about the same time.
Has anybody seen Taslin? It's been like an hour.
Taslin was supposed to be back before you.
Where did he go?
He just said he'd be right back and he had to get something. Was he getting something? I think he was getting something.
He's getting some type of box or something for a spell.
That was it.
Okay. I suppose we could go find somebody who sells spell reagents and see if he's there.
Somebody who sells boxes.
Sure. Magic boxes, I assume.
Does the secret chest need to be magical beforehand? I don't think so. It just needs to be
you have to get a small 50 gold worth chest, and then it's like a 5,000 gold 3x3.
Okay. So first up on the list of places to double check where he is the local miniature shop, where they sell the tiny little miniature heroes and people play games with them.
Me and Wampum probably shouldn't go in there. That stuff looks delicate.
Yep. Very delicate. All right. No Taslin to be seen. In fact, if you ask a couple people, Taslin didn't come this way.
Nobody's seen them.
Well, how about that talking spell you got?
Yeah, I was just about to do that. I'll send him. And I assume he's on a different plane of existence at this point. Not the character, but I'm going to have to roll as a player, right?
Yeah, so roll a D100.
Oh, D100, my bad.
Yeah.
That's a different thing than what I picked. That's one of these and one of these. I got 17.
Okay. It manages to reach its target. What is the message you send?
Hey, where you at, man? Where you is be at?
Oh, sorry. Just had to get an exotic ingredient. I'll be right back. Don't worry.
Okay. He said he'll be right back, so I guess we should go back to the place where he left from. Did he?
Yeah.
He said he was just. He said he was getting an exotic ingredient, and I wouldn't have gotten any sense as a character. I wouldn't have felt like, oh, it's hard for this sending to go through. What's the delay? What's up?
Nope.
When I'm possessed, do I know where I'm going? Like where my body is?
You are 100% aware, and you
Okay.
can see all of this, but it's got full
sweet.
control. It's got full control over you for the next now 11 hours.
Yeah, and am I able to commune with it, like in my head, or is it like completely non-sentient? I mean, I guess it's sentient.
Yeah,
Because it has
It is. Yeah, it is a sentient item. Yeah, you could communicate with it. So what happened straight away is you plane shifted, and it wanted to make sure that it had the greatest chance of success. So it plane shifted to a location you are aware of. It went to the city of Brass.
Ah.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, on the city of Brass, immediately, well, first question, are you wearing that ring of fire resistance?
Yes, I am.
You are. Okay, cool. So you're good with that. Inside the city, it's not too much of a concern, but if it took you outside, at least you're thinking, oh, good, my body will be fine. You're exploring through the city of Brass, looking or headed towards a very specific location. You have no idea why or where. What would you be doing or saying?
Good afternoon. I don't believe we've met. I killed your previous owner.
That's true.
Do you have a name?
I do. Would you like to hear it?
Indeed.
Because asking me whether or not I have a name really doesn't make a difference.
That is a fair point. So, what is your name?
I am Farium.
Aria. A pleasure to meet you. I'm sure.
Of course it is.
And tell me, why the City of Brass?
Oh, I have friends here that will take me where I need to go and leave you wherever they care about you.
I see. And you didn't trust me to take you where you needed to be,
No.
knowing that I had these capabilities?
You killed my previous owner, so no.
Can you blame me, though?
Yes, you killed my previous owner.
Had he not come against us, that wouldn't have needed to have happened. He forced my hand.
Semantics here. Look. I just need your body just for a little while. Once I get home, I'll let you go.
Can I do an insight check?
Roll an insight check.
Alright, that is a 19 plus. What's my insight? 21 total.
He's a very charismatic weapon, but apparently in this case, his true intentions are a little bit too close to the table, and he's lying to you. He is going to run your body ragged for the next 12 hours. Oh, now 11.
And I don't suppose we can reach an agreement.
Well, what would you hope to gain?
Power. Surely our end goals are not too misaligned.
Go on.
I need you to become more powerful to accomplish my own ends. You need me to accomplish... Tell me, what do you need accomplished? Surely working together is more beneficial to both of us than working alone.
You see, I see 4 very large hindrances to you actually being an effective tool.
The first being...
Wampum.
Oh. The
Then
second?
Nos, then Lafcadio. And then Kale. They
So-
would get in the way. If they're not going to get in the way, if you are willing to forsake them right now and leave with me for the promise of great untold power and glory for both of us, we can reshape the world together. You saw what I could do in his hand. I can tear the very fabric of existence apart.
I did see that. But do we know what comes after we tear the fabric of existence apart?
Well, we don't have to tear it apart. That's just one of the many things. That's like saying I could break your arm right now, but I'm not going to, because that's not going to serve a purpose. It just shows that I have power. Tell me, would you travel the plains with me, seeking power and glory?
I would. I just need to do one last thing with this party.
What is it?
I need them to help me kill someone. Someone that should have died a long time ago. A Shadar Kai that is my sibling that turned to necromancy to extend his life.
Do you know where this person is?
Somewhere in the Shadowfell, I would presume.
Okay. Roll a persuasion check, Taslin.
Alright. That is a 18 plus persuasion, which is a 0, so 18.
Okay. All right. Well, at that point, we're going to take a quick break. We will be back in just a little while to find out the outcome of Taslin's attempt to rein in the power of this item that has taken control over him. See you in a little bit. Bye. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us and being back. So, Taslin just tried to convince the weapon, the scythe, to let it return to its friends for a moment, to hold its plans behind, with the intention of being able to use the friends once more. The weapon thinks about it. The weapon has been in Taslin's possession specifically for the last 12 hours or so, even more. And so it knows everything that Taslin has been doing over the past couple of days. You make a compelling argument, Taslin. Unfortunately, I have no faith that such a plan will be done with prudence, and so my help in your endeavor would be to help in other endeavors before your own. Your friends will want to do their things before we go hunting your brother. So I'm afraid that's a no.
That's fair.
I'm getting an echo.
You're getting an echo?
Yeah.
Is anyone else getting an echo?
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Is anyone in the chat getting an echo? And who are they getting an echo from?
Carl just needs to get it together.
That's right.
Hey, you want to
Well-
stream? You want to try hosting?
I meant like in his head, in his brain area.
I'm sure that is what you meant.
Carl does a wonder of doing the entire stream management all by himself. I couldn't do it. I tried.
I mean, I could probably do it. But Carl's doing a great job.
Hitting you for fun says no echo.
I found it. It's gone now.
Okay, good. Well, thank you, Hitting You for Fun, for helping us out there. So, unfortunately, Taslin, the weapon has a mind of its own, and it doesn't trust that your deal will be a quick one. Certainly doesn't trust that it'll be done within 12 hours while it has full control over you. Right?
That's fair.
So it's going to start roaming around to the city of Brass until it finds some friends. It's going to be there for a while. How many hours will go by before the party start getting worried about Taslin's disappearance?
1? He said he'd be back in a minute.
Okay.
Mr. Kale, where was he?
I didn't say. I spelled that wrong. I don't think I have anything to do. Any of you guys happen to have anything of his? Anything he owned? Take that as a no. All right.
Wait a second. Did he give me some manacles, some mundane manacles once upon a time?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
I think I still have those.
Can I have them?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll take those and then I'll place them on the ground and I'll sit down and I'll get out my crystal ball and I'll balance it in the manacles. I don't need to do that, but I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to... Wait, no. Yeah, I'll try and scry on him because I don't know that he's on a different plane of existence.
Yeah. And scrying doesn't work on an alternative plane, right?
Correct. Same plane of existence as you.
Yep. So you'll cast the spell and it'll fail.
I guess I'll send him again. I'm just a sending robot at this point. I'll use another 3rd level slot for that. I'll send him again. I'll roll my D100. Here I go. 83. Looking good.
It manages to go through.
Alright, the sending this time. Hey, noticed you're not on material plane. Where exactly are you, and what are you doing, and when will you be back?
Hey, so sorry. Like I said, trying to get an exotic ingredient. It is taking longer than I thought. I might be a few days.
Alright, right off the bat, that didn't sound like Taslin at all. I don't think Taslin would say, I'm sorry, ever. So I'm suspicious, obviously.
Of course you are.
But, that doesn't... It's not solid evidence of anything.
What was going on? Like, I left and I came back and Kale came back at the same time. So, did you guys see him leave?
Yeah, he said he walked away and said that. First he was, playing with the scythe, and there was a bunch of magical energies going on, and then he said that he forgot that he got this new spell and he needed this box.
He was playing with the world-ending scythe that can tear the fabric of reality asunder.
Yeah, but he plays with a lot of stuff like that, so he didn't think anything of it.
I mean, he's been holding onto the scythe for a while, and it's been fine. I haven't seen any.
I haven't seen
particular
it.
issue
I haven't seen it go off yet, though, and it did kind of do some stuff there.
Right. All right. Did we have a name for the site besides? I mean, like
The Storm Scythe is what we've been calling it.
Storm Scythe. Yeah, Scythe of Storms.
It was a fancier name for it.
Yeah, I thought I wrote something else down. It's somewhere. Bissell, Special Giannis, Stormdad.life, Old Wizard, Belgravier. Wow, I wrote so many things. Natural Phenomenon, Platinum.
Something. There was a sk in it.
No, that was the name of the dude that came before Giant S. Skirda. That was the guy.
Skirda. Okay, that's what I was thinking. That's not the name of the scythe? Scythe?
Would I know if there's like a legendary name for this scythe? Like the Scythe of Storms or something? Scythe of Cord?
You might not know it, but you might know how to find out. To the library.
Yeah, I'll suggest. Yeah, I need to do a little bit of research before I ask God some questions.
Okay. So you will be able to find out all of the books on Cord were brought down to a particular room a while back. So you know where to find those books. You will find that while it was referred by a bunch of different names over time, it typically was mostly just known as the Storm Scythe, as accurately.
Storm Scythe. All right. I will ask, which spell will I cast? I will do a commune. I'll get some incense, just light some incense. Ask God 3 questions.
Okay.
That was out, and I put it in my mouth. Just put that down. Question 1. Let's see. They're yes or no questions. Is the Storm Scythe intelligent?
Yes.
Does the Storm Scythe... Well, no. I guess what would naturally follow, and feel free to stop me if you think I'm overreaching with my clerical abilities here, Teo, but I think that would lead me to the logical conclusion that it probably took control over whoever would attune to it.
That doesn't seem too far-fetched.
Okay.
That's okay.
So I will ask to confirm, did the Storm Scythe take control over Tazlin?
Yes.
What yes or no question could I ask that would help me find him? Wait. Do you know where Tazlin currently is?
Yes.
Great. I'll call you back. I will then...
Just hung up on your god.
I only get 3 questions.
Call you back.
I'll say, everybody just hold on, I gotta do a different thing now, and I'll get out just like 25 gold worth of whatever, and I'll sacrifice it. So I cast divination now, also as a ritual. And I will ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. We are going to go searching for Tazlin. Where will we find him?
In the place of wanted to sound somewhat cryptic, you know?
Place of big fire chickens.
The place of great, Hell's Kitchen. the place where exotic ingredients are found, and those are purchased in exotic ways.
I mean, okay. That would lead me to the Plane of Fire, right? Because
you remember having encountered some very powerful magical items, and that they were selling them for souls.
Okay, so I was kind of thinking that might point towards the Plane of Earth, but yeah, no, Plane of Fire. All right, everybody, he's on the Plane of Fire.
He went there without me.
Well, it would appear that the scythe has stolen his mind. He was our only ticket there. I can get us to the Plane of Water, but that's it.
So who else in the city can get us there?
I guess maybe the Harpers would know, if anybody.
That fella back in Silvery Moon, he wanted us to collect items that are attuned to the different elemental planes. Presumably he had something that you could do with those items.
What? What are you talking about?
A very long time ago, at the very beginning of all of this, there was an individual that wanted to give you the ability to cast Plane Shift. Plane Shift typically requires an item attuned to the target plane that you're going to. And so he asked you to go out hunting for items that are attuned to each of the elemental planes. You decided not to do that because you found other ways of going through the planes.
Yeah, I thought that there was a city down, not even a city, maybe more like a settlement or establishment south or near Tribor, that someone had the item that would be attuned to the Plane of Fire.
So let's go visit this person.
Well, that's like the top of my head. There might be someone like Kale said, maybe with the Harpers, maybe elsewhere closer.
Yes, let's ask the Harpers first, because time is a factor. Obviously, we know where he is right now, but we don't know that he'll stay there. So let's do it. To the Harpers.
And if the scythe is in control of him, is there any way we can break that control?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can handle that.
You got that, or
I got that on lock.
Okay. So, heading inside the Harper HQ, you can requisition assistance. This is something that is possible. They do have someone capable of casting Plane Shift spell. However, with all the rebuild that's going on and the amount of effort that is involved in the Plane Shift casting, they will ask for a donation to the organization of 250 gold pieces.
I can do that.
Okay.
Okay.
thanks, Wampum.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
In which case, as soon as that's been paid off, the wizard that is presented to you is ready to send you to the Plane of Fire.
All right.
Real
Well,
quick.
before we do, yep.
Yeah.
I was just going to see if someone here could send a message to somebody. They would have to teleport to Westgate in order to get it done. So it's not too important, but it does need to get done within 5 days. And that is, you guys willing to do that? I mean, you guys send people out from here all the time doing stuff, so it doesn't seem like it would be more than an on your way sort of situation.
We could. Yeah.
Okay. Go to Westgate and head to a temple called Fortune Moon Hall. It is giant. It is gold. Can't miss it. and talk to someone named Father Raymond Olero. Tell him that Nos is running for Lord Protector of Neverwinter, and she could use his support if he is available.
Okay, well done.
Okay.
They'll ask that you write down that message and note and hand it to their courier via private message to me later, so I can.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Cheers. Anything else that was before we go, kind of?
Before we leave, we should attune to our rings of fire resistance again. Just a quick reminder.
Already have mine.
I might have traded mine for a ring of lightning resistance, thinking that that's all the plane hopping we were gonna do.
Great.
That's what you get for thinking.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're going to have a bad time then, I guess. Unless the Harpers want to loan us another one.
Don't worry about it. Let's just go.
Okay. Well, still going to take an hour anyway to do that. But yeah, that's what we've done.
Right. So everyone except for Nos furiously attunes to a ring of fire resistance.
I'll attune to my wing and flippers
Yes.
while they're doing that.
There we go. Right. So, the City of Brass. Any preference of location?
The forges.
I suppose, yes, the business of Wampum's friend, if you know the name of the business, that might help, I think.
Okay. So, they will cast plane shift. You'll all feel the familiar, now it's familiar, pull that'll move you out. The accuracy of this drop wasn't perfect. Kale and Wampum end up inside a building while Nos and Lafcadio are outside of it. But at least you're on the plane of fire. You can immediately tell that you are on the elemental plane of fire just simply by the intense heat that you will all feel. Thankfully, because of the protection that the current ruler of the City of Brass has on the city, Nos, you don't feel that heat too much yet. The ring of fire resistance is only necessary once you leave the plane. Now, this would have been, what, an extra 2 hours? Because you did 2 ritual casts, right?
Yeah, which are like 10 minutes each, I think.
10 minutes each,
and then
and
an hour.
Short rest, and then communicating with... So, okay, so another 2 hours. In these 2 hours, the item, the Storm Scythe, has gathered Taslin away from away from some of the more populated areas and taken it towards the market on this particular day, trying to stay hidden and out of view. The weapon reaches a certain stall in the market, and you sense some form of camaraderie or essence, friendship, relationship feelings coming from the item and going to towards this particular merchant. The item speaks using your voice as pulling itself out to be visible. Good friend, I've found another. This individual will serve purposes that we may have for but a moment. I wish to find someone else more susceptible and less bargaining before long. So they'll head on inside. The inner area of this shop has been refitted to be more of a barracks. The barracks is filled with all kinds of different mercenary type individuals. Humans, elves, dwarves, half-orcs, all of the different typical races that you would expect are present here, resting in these hammocks that are swaying between posts. once once you've headed in and followed, you see that the beyond this room there is a set of chairs that are tied to one another, 3 in particular, and one by one a mercenary is being pulled through magic. He's charmed, whatnot, being pulled towards these chairs, and the scythe goes through effectively an interview process with these charmed individuals to find the appropriate host. And that's where you're going to be for those 2 hours that the party are waiting. So once the rest of our heroes, I should say, reach the elemental plane of fire, the city of brass, how are you going to find Tazza?
So during the time we were attuning to our rings, could I have also used the ring of spell storing to restore some slots?
Yes.
Sweet. I'll use 5 of those to get a 5th level slot pack, and then I'll immediately use it to scry on this dude again. Since we're on the same plane.
You're scrying now. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a DC 17. He's got -9 to his save because I'm familiar with him and I have one of his possessions.
Yep.
For a wisdom saving throw.
I've rolled it, but what is your wisdom saving? What is your wisdom
+6.
modifier? +6. Okay, so that was an 18, but then it's a minus how much?
9, so -3
9.
from 18, which would be 15.
Yeah.
Which is below 17, so... Got him.
You got him. You get an image, a glance of this individual, and you see Taslin checking the quality of these mercenaries, testing the pliability of their biceps or their reaction times as slaps them around the face, all sorts of little tests, almost like someone checking out cattle or slaves. This weapon seems to be looking, all those kinds of things. Taslin, from what you can see, seems to be doing all of these weird activities. But you get a sense and an understanding because the backdrops, you can see the market, you know you've been there, you know where to go.
Okay. And while I'm doing that, that'll take probably 12, 15 minutes, something like that. I assume Wampum will want to interact with the person who has a shield, yeah?
Yes.
So, as you get up, you actually go to the home where you had stayed for a few days. Well, no, more like a few hours and one night. You'll see his forge. Unfortunately, everything is in complete disarray. The forge has been upturned. The coals are wet. Dry, but they've been ruined. The entire building has been made derelict, more or less. What would you do when you see this scene, Wampum?
Look to see if I can see a body or any signs of combat.
Okay, roll an investigation check.
Investigation. That is a 7.
Okay. You will not see any real signs of a body. You'll definitely see signs of combat. This was definitely a gang of individuals that would have done this damage to the forge itself and the building attached to it, but no sign of any dwarf.
Okay.
Can I use my snoot to sniff out some blood, if there is any blood? I'm getting pretty good at that.
You are. So which of your skills is that for? Survival, maybe?
Perception is how I was doing it before, I think.
Perception,
or was it
okay.
survival?
That's fine. Perception is good.
18.
Forgive me, sorry. Don't know why I'm so tired tonight. All right, so 18. You do smell the scent of blood. and it'll lead you towards a drow corpse. Stuck below rubble and an anvil that's been turned over, there is a single drow corpse underneath the stonework.
How fresh does it taste?
You give it a good little lick. Okay.
And not spit it out.
No, probably not. It's been dead 2 days.
Okay. Kind of stale.
Okay. While you're investigating this scene, though, you will hear some clapping coming from behind you. I must admit, Wampum, I was not expecting you to come back. I'm quite impressed.
Brother, I'll be back.
Behind you, you turn to hopefully see the dwarf that works this place, and you do see him as his body is thrown towards you, broken and beaten to within an inch of his life. Still alive, but beaten, as a drow priestess throws him forward. So, I've come to make a bargain with you.
As I am gripping my axe tighter. Yeah?
The bargain is quite simple. You will stop your little vendetta against my family, and we will stop killing your friends.
And I'm going to throw my axe.
Okay. All right. I do apologize to Graeme that we're in combat without Taslin right now.
No worries.
But we do have a priestess, and out of the buildings nearby step some drow warriors. So let's get rid of Taslin, and let me make a... Yeah, I'm going to... Yeah. Since we don't have Taslin, quick rebalance, we also don't have that fifth warrior. Okay? So, you guys can see yourselves on the map, can you not?
Yes.
Alright, then let's roll for initiative. Taslin.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in playing an evil woman?
Oh, of course.
Okay, right. I'll give you the Drow Priestess of Lolth character sheet with full control over it and its token.
All right.
Her number one goal is to get Wampum to stop. Okay. If that requires Wampum's death, so be it. But a fact that she has been informed of is quite simply that trying to take on the dwarf by head on is suicide. It is much more effective if you kill his companions. Break his spirit, not his body. All of those that are on her list.
Oh, perfect. Yep, I see it.
So they should all be... they're not actually set up in the character sheet so much, but you can see in the spell casting list all of the spells that she does have.
Perfect.
Okay. Is that going to be
I've
cool
got
for
it.
you?
Yeah.
All right. I will play the warriors that will fight. That way you're still involved, which matters. All right. Vinny, I see that you've typed in a 13. So Kale, sorry. Just see it says 13. Okay. Anyone else need to roll initiative? I appear to have Nos with 22, Wampum with 20, the Drow Priestess with 5. That's terrible. Lafcadio with 19, the Drow warriors with 9, and Kale with 13. I haven't missed anyone out. Nope. Okay. So, Nos, you can see Wampum is about to throw his axe. You get to act just a little bit quicker than he does.
So she's just there at his side, biting at the bit, ready for action, knowing exactly where this is going to go. So as soon as his hand starts to move anywhere at all, she is off. She rages, and then she flies up into the air 10 feet, and then directly at the leftmost flank of these drow. I'm going to end up 10 feet right above this guy.
Okay.
Strike number 1 is a 29 to hit.
That's going to hit.
That's 13 slashing on top of 4 radiant. And then again with a 15.
Okay. So 17 points of damage dealt. The 15 is going to miss.
Okay. And then I will stay here 10 feet hovering in the air.
Okay. Wampum, you're throwing your axe?
Yep, I am throwing at the woman.
That is not very nice.
And the fireball will be going off.
Okay.
So it is a 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. So the as a reminder, the blast-ended battle axe doesn't involve an attack to hit if you're making it blow up.
Okay.
If you're
So
making
just
it
be
blow
a
up,
dex save?
yeah, he throws it to a certain point. That any creature within 20 feet of that space has to roll a DC 15 dex save, taking
And-
8d6 fire damage on a failed save.
Alright, so I rolled a 15.
Okay, so that's a success for you. The which location would you have dropped it, Wampum? I need to know if all 4.
Yeah, since I knew that Nos went to the left, I am going to throw it at the drow at the right-hand corner.
Okay, so
That drow right there.
okay, so the question is whether or not he would be hit by this.
5, 10, 15, 20. No, it would be just short of him.
Just short of him. Okay, now these guys. So one of them succeeded, one of the drow failed. So go ahead and roll 8d6, Wampum.
Yep. That is a total of a 20.
Okay, so the priestess takes 10, so does one of the warriors, the other one takes 20. Anything else from you, Wampum?
Yes, I am going to action surge on her, and
Okay.
I am going to I'll be throwing at her.
Okay, remember the blast axe. Sorry. When you throw it, at the end of your turn, the axe will return to your hand if you have a free hand.
Oh, okay.
Blowing it up like that, well, for one thing, is a whole action to do. So then you
Right.
action surged, but the weapon's not back yet.
Okay, then I will wait for the axe to come back.
Okay, cool. All right, then Lafcadio.
I want to cast a spell.
Let's see. She has Dispel Magic, right?
Dispel
I think
magic
so, yeah.
doesn't work in this case.
You're right.
You're looking
I
for
need-
counterspell.
Yeah,
And I don't think she has it.
she doesn't.
All right, I'm going to cast Synaptic Static, which is a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point that I can see. So I reckon I can get the 3 drow warriors starting from the right and the priestess. It's a DC 18 intelligence save.
Okay.
All right, so they all take 30 psychic damage. and they are going to take a 1d6 penalty whenever they try to make attacks.
Can we say what the rolls ended up being? Because those were abysmal.
They were bad. And she doesn't get advantage against spells, does she?
Saving throws and charmed. That's it.
Yeah, okay. So a 3, a 4, a 3, and a 10. These drow are not intelligent creatures.
That was 30 damage.
Yep.
Yes.
Anything else from Lafcadio?
I'm going to use some movement just to get 10 feet over there. And that's it.
Okay. All right. Then we move to Kale.
Muted.
You're muted.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
My name is Vinny. I play a character named Kale. He is from a place. He's going to cast the confusion spell. He's going to get a bunch of nuts out of his bag and just throw them on the ground, and it's going to really not sound okay to the 3 people that just got hit with synaptic static. And they're going to need to make wisdom saving throws. Oh, I can send the spell card to roll 20. Please hold. What level is confusion? Fourth. Cast. Send spell card to roll 20. Whoa, that looks terrible. Anyway, it's DC 17.
I rolled a 5.
Okay.
Get wrecked.
Wisdom saved. Well, it's each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere, so I'm assuming you're picking the priestess and the 2 that are next to her?
Or actually, with the 10-foot radius, all I can hit is the priestess and the guy to the right of her. So just those 2 people.
Okay.
My bad.
All right. So, wisdom save 8. Minus
Okay.
then the synaptic static is that on saves as well? No, it's just attack rolls, ability checks, as well as its constitution saves to maintain concentration. Okay.
They are now also confused, and then I will run away behind this building.
Okay. Now, are you holding concentration on confusion?
I am.
Okay. And we have the Drow warriors. There is one immediately below Nos. And so not able to, because you're at 10 foot above, right? So that's causing a problem. So hand crossbow shot going straight up towards you.
You know, start blowing a raspberry, and she's usually see him pulling out the crossbow and be like, "Oh, forgot."
That will be a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. You will take... that is 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay,
and
so
I need you
that's
to make a Constitution saving throw.
2 points of damage.
Yeah, 2 points because you're raging, then a con save against poison.
20.
20. Okay, so a success. All right. That's that one. Of the others, there's one that is not confused. He would run to the end of the building, targeting Kale specifically because of the spell that he just cast, and launch a shot with the crossbow.
No, don't. No.
18.
That's my AC, though. You can't do that.
Apparently I can.
No.
Oh, that's a little bit more. That is 8 points of piercing damage.
8. 7,
Yep.
8. My temporary
need you to-
HP's almost gone.
Oh,
I rolled a nat 20 on my con save.
okay. So we'll say that's for the poison. Now roll a con save to hold concentration.
Oh, son of a... 3. I rolled a 3 for that one.
Okay, so confusion is no longer in effect.
Great.
Right. Okay. So that'll end that creature's turn. The priestess is no longer confused, which helps. The other will move up and engage one. What?
The drow that shot at Kale should have taken a D6 penalty to his shot.
Because he had the synaptic dampening.
Fair enough.
You missed.
So I guess that would have missed. All right. So the other two that are confused, or only one of them's confused, right?
One, just this.
Okay. All right. So he's got to roll a d10. Would you like to roll a d10 for that?
I absolutely would like to do that. I will roll a d10. Where are my 10s? Here's one. 1. What does that mean?
The creature uses all its movement to move in a random direction. To determine the direction, roll a d8 and assign a direction to each die face. The creature doesn't take an action this turn.
D8. I rolled a 4.
Okay.
So it would be. I mean, if you want me to pick, you can pick.
I would typically just go 1 is straight up and then clockwise around.
That's exactly what I was going to do.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's got to use all his movement to move in that direction. He'll move as best as he can, which ends up putting him there. Okay. The next one will charge for Wampum. Running up to Wampum with his short sword, he is going to attempt to stab Wampum twice with the short swords.
Do you want me to roll the D6s, or you got those?
You roll the d6s.
Both of them are 6s.
All right. So, yeah, that's going to miss. I mean, there's no chance there. All right. So that fails. He's going to miss his turn. The priestess.
Yeah. So I have to roll 1d10 first. Figure out what she's doing.
Let Kale roll that.
Okay, Kale, what am I doing?
I rolled a 1 again, so you gotta.
All right. Roll me a
So
1d6.
Kale rolls a d8 for duration.
I also rolled a 1 on the d8.
All right, so I'm going up.
straight up.
Straight up. Yep.
All right, I'll move my 30 feet. That's it.
Okay. Nos.
It's-
At the end of their turns, they wisdom save again for the thing, the confusion.
17 and a 15. No, there's only one of them that's confused. Never mind. So 17.
17 passes.
They can also make intelligence saves for the synaptic static.
Still a failure. Okay. Nos.
Wampum, do you want me to go after the priestess or leave her to you?
She's mine.
Okay. Then I will strike at the one beneath me. 24 to hit.
24 will hit him.
14 slashing with 8 radiant.
Okay.
Go again. That is a 14 to hit. That's not going to hit.
No, it won't.
Yeah. Okay. We'll come back up with a halved. 20 to hit.
He will use his reaction to parry that.
Okay.
So it'll miss.
All right.
Okay. Wampum.
Alright. Wampum is just going to ignore the drow in front of him. So you can do a 5, 10, 15, 20. He's going to move to there.
25 to hit you.
That will hit.
Oh, minus a d6.
Minus a d6.
6.
Misses.
Okay.
Jeez.
And
Right.
he's going to throw at the priestess. for a 30 to hit for 10
That'll hit.
slashing.
That'll hit her.
And I want you to make a wisdom save.
19.
That will pass. My second attack. Hold on, I gotta mark a superiority die off. My second attack is going to be a 28 to hit for 12.
That'll hit. She's looking rough.
And my third attack is going to be a 15, but hold on, I'm going to use a superiority die. For another 9 on top of that, so that's a 24 to hit.
That'll hit. That's for 12. She is. How do you do it?
The last attack, I kind of jump in the air and throw as hard as I could possibly throw and stick it in the back of her head. And then I'm going to see if I can wait for like a split second to call the axe back.
All right. It'll return to your hand. Lafcadio.
Hold on. I don't get
No fighter.
I'm going to action search. Damn drow. I'm going to turn around, and the one that was in front of me, I'm going to throw at him for a 19 for 12.
Hits.
Second attack is a 28 for 14. And
Okay.
the last attack is a 25 for 17.
Right. Dead.
And then I'm just going to yell out a roar. I hate drow.
Okay. Now it's Lafcadio's turn.
Great. All right. Well, then I'll run up to this drow here, and I'll fish out my net and cast it at him, and see if I can stop him in his tracks. It's a 17 to hit.
No.
He falls worthlessly at the ground, and then I will pull out my hand crossbow with my bonus action and shoot him in the face with it. 21 to hit.
Okay. That's going to hit.
7 piercing damage, and that's me done.
Okay. Kale.
Seeing the battle has been joined, I would like to run as far away. No, I will run over to where that's happening. And then I'll bang on my shield, and he can do a wisdom save to not take 3d12 damage right now.
That's a failure.
Finally! Does he have legendary resistances, sir? Thank God. That's a d20. I don't roll that. They look a lot like d12s. Hold on. Please hold. That was 22 necrotic damage.
Okay.
And nobody's confused anymore, so I'm not concentrating on anything. And then I'll cast Sanctuary on myself.
All right. Anything else from you?
I will do the MC Hammer dance. Can't touch this. No, nothing else. I'm sorry that I did what I just did.
Okay. All right. We have a drow still under the effect of the synaptic static, right?
Yes.
Yes.
The priestess has been killed. He's hurt. Honestly, he's going to cast darkness and run. So he starts running 20, 30 foot, cast darkness in this area at the back. and starts to run out of sight, out of mind. The one that is already in melee with Lafcadio and Kale is going to try and disengage and do the same thing. Okay. Nos, what are you doing?
I would like to try to fly through the alley, max movement 55 feet, and attempt to scoop one of these guys up.
Okay, you can't see any of them.
So is that simply at disadvantage or not at all? Because I can see where they went-ish into the darkness, their trajectory.
You can see that they went into the darkness. Knowing specifically the space that they would be in is a matter of consideration. You could attack a spot, but they might not actually be there.
Okay.
So, in essence, you would pick a spot, attack with disadvantage. If the disadvantage hits, then they were there. If the disadvantage doesn't hit, it's either you failed or they're not actually there.
Okay, well, I'm willing to try. And this is going to be a scoop. This is not going to be a glaive attack, so it's going to be a grapple, essentially, I think.
Okay.
Right. All right.
So, roll an athletics check.
And, okay, that's 11. Either way.
You have advantage since you're raging?
But I have disadvantages I can't see, right?
Right.
So, cancel that. All right, so yeah, 11.
Okay. Unfortunately, you'll swoop through and you're not going to hit purchase with anything.
Can I take my second attack trying to do the same thing? Just try it again?
You can. Bear with me 1 second.
No problem.
Yeah, just double checked, and the rules on grappling do not mention anything about needing to be able to see the target. Yep.
All right.
All right. So
Feeling good.
go ahead. Roll
All right.
an athletics check.
It's either 22 or 12. Which one is it?
Which one was the one that rolled first? All right, 22.
Uh-huh.
All right. So pick a spot within that circle as to where you would have gone in to do such a thing.
So I'm going to try for the one that just ran in there last, and I know how fast normal drow travel. So judging by that, I'm going to say he's going to be right around here.
Okay. He was, in fact, you grab one of them.
Yes!
You have them grappled.
Yes!
Okay. Anything else from you, Nos?
I think that's my full move. Nope. 10 feet. I'm going to fly 10 feet up and just hold him.
Okay.
I got one!
Wampum.
His anger is going to make him 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to there. And I am going to throw where I saw him cast that spell. So I'm going to throw at that drow. Disadvantage is a 20.
It'll
14.
miss.
And then my second attack is a crit.
At disadvantage, it's a 15.
Oh, 15, but I'm going to use one of my die. For another 6, so that's a 21.
That will miss.
Okay. I use 3 dice. And now, my last attack. And I'm going to use one more die. So that's also a 21.
Also a miss.
Okay, and then I am done.
Okay. Lafcadio, what are you going to be doing?
Doopy.
I'll run into the middle of the street here, and I'll have seen Nos and Wampum run into that darkness, and like, I could cast a spell, but I might hurt my friends. So I'll just call out, oh, since Nos is flying, is she above the darkness?
I'd say Nos is just about above, but the thing in her arms is still in the darkness.
I can't see you guys. I'm just gonna stay ready. And that's it.
Heal the dwarf!
I can't see a dwarf.
The friend dwarf!
The friend one, the one that was thrown at Wampum earlier.
Oh, that fella. Can I see him?
Yeah, it's just on the floor near you.
All right, I'll give him some healing, and that's be done.
Okay. Kale?
I will run around the corner, see a sphere of darkness, and dispel that biatch. Dispel
Okay.
magic.
And it is gone. Anything
Go
else?
get him. That's it. You guys do the rest.
And that was 16 HP that I healed the other dwarf.
Okay. Right. That's more than enough for him. Okay. The two drow that are not in any combat with anyone are going to continue to run and try to get off map and out of here. They will run behind buildings as quickly as they can and then take the stealth action, the hide action, to try and hide from your searching. They have a -6 to each of those, right?
No, just attack rolls.
I thought it was attack rolls and ability checks.
Nope.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yep. Attack rolls and ability checks.
Even better. They didn't try to save last turn, so it's possible they're not under the effects anymore.
Highly unlikely. 10 and a 13 for that, so...
Yeah, it is still under.
Okay.
Oh,
So roll 2 d6s.
Oh, right. There.
oh.
4 and a 4. Okay, so... okay. So they are hidden, but as to how much, that's up to you guys to find. They're weak. Nos, you've got one in your arms.
So I'm gonna come back down, set all of our feetsies on the ground, and essentially present this guy to Wampum for asking any amount of questions he wants. And I'm gonna say we might want to interrogate this guy to see if she's the only one that we need to worry about, or if the family's a lot larger than we know, or who else they're gonna send, or what else they're gonna do. What do you think?
Wampum looks down the hallway, down the corridor, like, ah! And then turns around and just grabs the drow by the neck.
Okay. Are you guys going to pursue the other two?
I'm not. Kale's going to say, that sounds like a great idea, but we don't have a lot of time right now. We really need to find Tazlin, who has been, charmed by the world-ending scythe.
Right. World-ending scythe. How could I have forgotten?
Yeah. Kind of important. Do whatever you want with this guy, but we got to get going. I'm going to start going through my bag for something while Wampum figures out what he wants to do.
Okay. What are you doing with this guy?
I'm going to knock him out.
Okay. Go ahead and hit him.
Let's just see. That would be still a +7. Okay. So it's a 28 to hit him.
Okay. If it would be a +7, would it not be far less than that? The attack roll that you just rolled is a +11 to the attack roll. So if it's a +7, should it not be a 24? I know it doesn't make a difference, but I'm just making sure.
No, you are right. You are right.
Okay. All right. So 24, that'll hit him. What are you hitting him with?
My gauntlet.
Okay, so just with the gauntlet. So what's your strength modifier?
+5.
All right. So with that, he goes down. unconscious. Limp body in Noss's arms. You guys can take him with you while you start searching for Taslin.
Great.
Yep,
Resume search.
I'm gonna throw him over my shoulder. I'm gonna turn to the dwarf and ask him where will you be?
On my way out of here.
Hey, do you have his shield?
I finished it, but they took it.
Who took it?
I know, right? Can't make anything easy on you guys, right? She did. The matron mother. She waltzed right in, took it.
Not her. And I'm
Nope.
next to that one.
Not that one. Bigger one. Mina. Like, yeah, big woman. If she wasn't a drow, I might have, but no.
You can, if you want out of here, why don't we take you to my family?
That sounds like a good idea.
Where can I come get you in an hour?
Near the docks.
I'll be there. And then, and this guy's over my shoulder. I don't need him no more, and I'm gonna snap his neck.
When I see that happen, I'll react and I'll cast my soul cage to grab his soul before he disappears.
Okay. One reaction which you take when a humanoid you can see within 60 feet of you dies. Okay, so you now have the drow warrior's soul in a cage. Okay.
I realize we don't have time right now, but you have got to tell me what you just did, Lafcadio. That looked really weird. When we have time.
I'll tell you all about it.
And then I'm gonna run around the corner and just chop this woman in like 12 pieces.
12? Rough sizes or exact? Do you
Rough sizes.
rough sizes? Okay, alright, cool. Alright, so first of all, we take off the limbs. That gets it down to 5. Let's cut both of the arms in half. Okay, so now we're at 7. You know what, let's go with the legs as well. 9.
Torso in 3 pieces.
Torso into 3 pieces. That's now at 11. We need one more. Off goes the head. There we go. 12.
Okay.
Cool.
And
Very
now,
precise.
And now I'm happy.
Great. So while he was doing that, I dug the griffin statue out of my bag, and I choose you. You.
When was the last time you used your griffin statue?
Like forever ago, when we were here.
First day of being in the city of brass.
A long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a while back. So.
Like a week. All right.
Yep. So it's
Cool.
back. 2 people can get on this with me. Everyone else, what other modes of transportation do we got?
I got the winged flippers here.
You can fly. Lafcadio, you can fly, right?
I can, but would prefer to ride on your bird.
Well,
Horse, lion, what is it?
it's a griffin. I would think someone from the Emerald Enclave would know that. But anyway, yeah, okay, you ride on the griffin and Nos, you carry Wampum, and we're gonna fly down to the market. I know where the guy is, Taslin. I know where he is.
Then go.
Okay. So you lead the party, zooming as fast as you can over towards the market square. You cause a little bit of a ruckus as there aren't many people flying through the sky in this city, as you did the same time last time. Landing firmly in front of the building, you'll recognize it because you'll recognize one of the individuals stood outside of it, trying to flog his wares. Out in the front, his wares are just simple foodstuffs. So special kinds of fruit and meat along the table. You can see that his store opens up from behind, but how do you proceed? Do you try to just push past him? Do you ignore him? Do you
First,
talk to him? What do you do?
I will channel divinity him to try and read his thoughts so he can do a whiz save.
It's going to be a 20.
So that didn't work. Then I'll try and cast Calm Emotions on him. Excuse me, sir. Give me just 1 second here, and cast Calm Emotions on him in the hope of making him indifferent to creatures of my choice.
Okay, so he's going to be put on edge when he sees you casting a spell.
Perfect.
And so he makes a wisdom save.
Right? Yep, I think. Charisma, sorry.
Charisma. Okay, that's just about the same. That's an 11, so.
Alright, so he should now be indifferent toward me and my companions.
Yep.
At which point I'll turn to everybody else and be like, alright, we're heading in.
Okay. You charge past these hammocks filled with sleeping mercenaries, and you'll see behind a door is Taslin choosing his next meat suit.
So my plan is I'm just going to run straight up to him as I'm grabbing some diamond dust out of my sack, out of that bag of holding. I want to just chuck it at his body and touch him.
Does the door need to come down first?
Door needs to be opened.
I will take care of the door.
And I'll follow.
So, we will roll for initiative, because there may be things that Taslin can do to stop the remove curse from being cast. Taslin, in this scenario, in this situation, your goal is...
Not be transferred over, or if I am being transferred over, to have them escape with the scythe?
Yeah, if it looks like they are going to successfully manage to separate you from your host, you need to get yourself to a host that will get you out of here.
Would the scythe bargain if both plans fail?
No.
No. Okay, perfect. My goal is to not get captured. Got it.
Okay, so you burst open the door. Taslin's in a room by himself. I don't know what your particular marching order would have been in this sort of instance, but Taslin is by himself. Roll for initiative.
I have a 5 plus 3, so initiative of 8.
Okay. Kale, what's your initiative?
12.
12.
That's about right, how it all played out.
Okay. All right. So, since Kale was the one that was starting it off, we'll have Kale act first in the initiative. So what is it that you're trying to cast, Kale?
So the door's still up in this scenario, right?
No, I took it down.
Okay.
So we'll say the door's down.
I was just going to run up to Taslin and throw some diamond dust at him and cast Greater Restoration.
Is that a spell I can counterspell?
It sure is.
Then I will counterspell at level 3? Level 4? 3.
3 is the base level, so it's up to you what to
I'll do level 4.
do. Okay.
All right. It is a 5th level spell.
So I have to make an Arcana check, right?
I was going to
Intelligence
counterspell
check.
it too.
Okay.
I'm counterspelling his counterspell.
Okay.
Okay.
And my spells are cast at 5th level, so it automatically succeeds.
So
Okay.
I reach out and I grab him, and I immediately cast Greater Restoration to break his attunement to a cursed magic item, namely the scythe.
Oh, we're going to be such good friends. So, I get unattuned to it. And it's just me in this room, right?
Well, it
Besides my
was you
companions.
and the other potential meat suits.
Okay, so I'm not going to throw the scythe down on the ground in disgust, knowing that it was trying to find other people and they could theoretically grab them.
Correct.
but I will be like, ah! That's probably a fitting reaction.
Sure.
For like having your body under your control again.
I'll like hold a hand out, like, give me the scythe. Just hand it over. Thank you.
I feel like that was as much emotion as we have ever seen out of you, Teslin.
Yeah. Well, it's been an exciting day. And
Yes.
I, quite frankly, never want to see that scythe again.
Oh, good.
Unless I'm trading it for something.
No, you're
And
never
it's
gonna
going
see it
somewhere in a
again.
dark dungeon.
Not. You will not see it again.
Do we have to worry about all these folks?
Not if we get out of here right now, immediately, because, yeah, that guy's only going to be not care about us for so long. So, and we just kick down the door.
All right, well, let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's leave.
Okay.
All right.
Lead the way.
So, rushing out, all of these mindless zombies of bodies, you just leave them behind and leave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll hop up on my griffin, I guess. Taslin, can you fly? Is that a thing you can do?
No. I will simply run.
All right. Tell you
Is it a
what,
place we've been to?
do we need to be here anymore, Wampum? Because your shields.
We need to go to the docks.
We need to go to the docks here.
Yeah, his dwarf friend is hanging out there. And we're going to pick him up before we head back to the material plane and make sure his dwarf friend gets with his people.
All right.
Did you get your shield?
It is with someone else that I have to go kill.
All right. Well, you all rescued me, so I suppose the least I can do is help you kill a few drow.
Mhm.
Again.
Well, we need to go home first to get me army.
You're going to use your army, huh?
Lead the way.
So we will go to the docks, and
Okay.
I'll have the griffin follow us, I guess, because it would be rude to fly away when other people can't fly. It'd be kind of mean. But...
Before we pop out, I can use this fella, and I pull out my silver cage with a soul in it. As long as we're still on this plane, I can see through his eyes where he's been before. If we're planning to come back, maybe it'd be worthwhile to scout out the place ahead of time.
We be coming back, and I can personally take you where we need to go.
Well, this fella isn't going to stay in the cage indefinitely. So if we want to get any reconnaissance, I would want to do that before we left. We don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to. I can do it wherever we are. It's just it'll take some time to
Let's do that.
look through his eyes.
Yeah, just do it on the way to the docks.
All right, on the griffin.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as per the eyes of the dead feature of the cage, what is the place that you name?
So like
The
oh, wait.
the drow compound, where I was.
So, Mr. Soul fella, I'd quite appreciate it if you could show me the compound that you're from, where you spend all your time when you're not trying to kill Wampum, please.
Okay. So, you will see, as if you were scrying on the location that is mentioned. This compound is a large compound built onto the side of the city. From what you can view, you have an open room. There is a small moat of lava, within which there is a raised platform just above that lava, whereupon there is a throne. On top of the throne sits a matron mother, a drow matron, in all her glory. Ringing the room are all of her soldiers and her servants. There are a myriad of drow different individuals, from those that seem like just servants to those who seem like weapon masters and very skilled individuals. Flanking her, on both her left and her right, sat on lesser thrones, are two more priestesses that you can see. Currently, they appear to be in communication with two well-beaten and injured drow. You watch for a moment as the matron stands up, pulls a whip from her belt, which immediately turns into a energy beam of sorts, wraps around both of the necks of these two drow at the same time, and snaps them.
It's hot.
Okay. That's about as much information as you get. You get auditory information from the sensor. Do you speak Undercommon?
I do not.
Then you hear a whole load of gobbledygook. Okay.
So when I'll be taking particular note of the number of soldiers, their armaments, anything that looks like it might be a problem if we were to get in there. I don't know if I can move my sensor around a bit, but I would like to, in that 10 minutes that I can concentrate, get any sort of information that would be useful for an assault.
We will. I'll give you that information out of session. We'll need to discuss because for game balance wise, there's going to be a different amount based on if you go by yourselves or if you go with an army. So I'll give you that information once you've decided what you're going to do. Okay.
All right. And I will relate all this information to the group, and particularly Wampum.
By which point you would have arrived at the docks. You'll see that dwarf is trying to secure himself a boat for the time being, just hoping maybe he'll have some safety away from the city, even if it's on the Sea of Fire. But seeing you rush around the corner, thank you. Oh, you're well. Good. Can we go now?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
All right, Tazlin, you can get us to... Where are we going, Wampum?
Brain fart.
Mirabar, right?
Mirabar, thank you.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever been to Mirabar.
It's impressive.
Well, as impressive as it may be, we need...
How
we've
about
been there before.
Luskin?
I can do Luskin.
Luskin's close enough.
Well, the Hopper network has, I think, a circle in Mirabar. So if we go anywhere with the Hopper teleportation network, we can get to Mirabar just like that.
Okay, I mean, we could just go back and Neverwinter then.
All right,
Okay.
Everyone grab hands and off we go.
Intelligence check.
That is a 17.
Okay. You successfully cast plane shift. Send everyone back to the material plane and back to the city of Neverwinter, dropping out almost exactly the same place you had left, as if nothing had happened.
And before
It's
we
all
left,
a
I
dream.
made sure to turn the griffin back into a statue and grab it. Don't want to leave him.
Fair enough. All right. So the plan, if I understand it now, is go to the Harper headquarters, teleport from Neverwinter to Mirabar, drop off the dwarf, grab an army, and charge on the drow.
Yeah, I'm gonna meet with my mother and find out just what she meant by come home and take members with you.
Okay. All right. then at that juncture, this seems like an appropriate point. We will end tonight's session. Before we go, I would like to thank everyone for joining with us today through our technical difficulties. Still ironing out a kink here or two, but we appreciate your patience. I'd just like to remind people to please share us with your friends, both on here and subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us here. Subscribe if you want to give us a little bit of support. That would be much appreciated. And we'll see you all next time.